Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar continues the franchise's trend of remakes, following 2023's A Wonderful Life. But it is so much more than a fresh coat of paint. It's a reinvention, filled with new features, expansions on existing mechanics, and truly addictive, yet relaxing gameplay. Grand Bazaar is an absolute whirlwind of fun. Players have just taken up residence in Zephyr Town, a small, blustery place formerly famous for its titular bazaar. However, in recent years, the weekly marketplace has seen a decline in both vendors and visitors, and, as is tradition in the cozy game genre, it's up to the new farmer to help return it to its former glory. Of all the times the title has asked me to undertake such a task, Grand Bazaar has been one of the most fulfilling.
Taking over the Zephyr Town farm. Much of Grand Bazaar's farming mechanics will be familiar to fans of the Story of Seasons franchise, though things don't feel nearly as intense and large-scale as some other titles. I mean this as a positive for the game, especially for someone like me who can easily get bogged down in min-maxing minutia. Honestly, the trickiest part is balancing the fact that watering needs to be done twice a day, which I initially disliked, but special unlockable moves make much quicker work of it before too long. Players can raise and improve seasonal crops through a combination of fertilizer and seed making, gradually making better generations over time. Similarly, animal products like wool and milk will rise in star quality the more the creature's relationship grows with the farmer. Both crops and animals can even be entered in different competitions, which can impact future overall quality. While cooking with crops, animal products, and forageables isn't a necessity, it's highly incentivized. Cooked dishes make more of a profit at the bazaar, can provide players with energy and special buffs, and make great gifts for Zephyr Town's residents. The recipe list is vast and varied, and players can add special touches to dishes with extra ingredients to further enhance their value.
Wind is your greatest asset in Grand Bazaar. While farming plays a fairly large part in Grand Bazaar, it's far from the only way players will be spending their time. In fact, a player's greatest resource isn't anything like crops or animal goods. It's wind. Crafting is not done on a bench or within a menu, but rather via the 3 windmills scattered across town, each with a different set of recipes available. The wind speed each day, which ranges from a gentle breeze to Gale-Force storms, will impact how quickly projects put into each windmill are completed. This adds a bit of strategy. I would wait to craft more urgent items like improved tools until especially windy days, for example, while also encouraging relaxation with a sort of set-it-and-forget-it methodology. The windmills are positioned so that they're frequently passed throughout the day, making it easy to pop in mid-journey to pick up items or set in motion new ones. Breezes are much more than just windmill fuel, too. Though players can get around via foot or horse, they can now utilize a glider on the wind in tandem with bouncy barrels scattered around the world as a shortcut. Exploration thrives on the wind, as it's the only way players can reach some more out-of-the-way areas that contain useful resources. As silly as this sentence sounds, all the windy elements of Grand Bazaar genuinely excited me. Moments like discovering new cliffs on my glider, or when I finally unlocked the 3rd windmill and could start crafting more complex artisan goods after striving all season, were such an absolute delight. Although I missed the Nintendo DS element of blowing into the microphone to make windmills spin faster, the mechanic remains very well done, with significantly more depth this time around.
Making the bazaar grand again. Every Saturday across 2 multi-hour shifts, the Grand Bazaar is open for business, and it's where players will both earn and spend most of their money each week. In fact, the game completely eschews the typical shipping bin concept in favor of the event. Players can still sell to the general store if cash is urgently needed, but there's much more profit to be made at the bazaar, and said yields also help level up the marketplace itself. Each bazaar level has specific profit and vendor number requirements, the latter of which increases over time by fulfilling item or material requests for potential sellers. Some of these are out-of-towners only seen on Saturdays, while others come from a player's neighbors, who are especially fulfilling to aid in setting up a business suited to their interests and personality.
After saving up a week's worth of goods, which can be anything from raw materials and crops to artisanal items, jewelry, and cooked dishes, players will need to head out bright and early to the bazaar grounds to prepare their stock and adjust their stalls' decorations. This decor can impact various bonuses related to sales and customers, especially when it matches the theme. More money can also be made by selling trending products, which change throughout the year. The two shifts themselves are a selling mini-game, where players set items out on their counters, grab customers' attention by ringing a bell, and dole out the requested goods. It's fairly simple, but that doesn't make seeing the numbers go up each weekend any less satisfying, as is spending the profits afterward at a variety of vendors for everything from clothing to animals to home upgrades.
Day-to-day life in Zephyr Town.
Much about Zephyr Town and its residents has grown since the original game. There are several new characters, including 2 new Grand Bazaar marriage candidates, as well as 5 nature sprites that help improve the quality of various items and provide a special selling bonus during the bazaar. Great writing and fully voiced cutscenes make every resident feel unique and fully fleshed out, and even their daily dialogue feels more varied than many games in the genre. The stellar voice acting elicited both laughs and endearment from me, particularly when it comes to romance. I can be fairly picky when it comes to choosing an in-game spouse, so the fact that I've found choosing who to settle down with so difficult speaks volumes about the quality of the love interests. The calendar of Grand Bazaar has also expanded, adding in several new festivals and competitions, like seasonal crop contests and cute holidays like Honey Day. One of the best parts of Grand Bazaar is how players get to see Zephyr Town and its residents evolve over time. As the bazaar levels up, changes like store stock expanding and seeing more visitors around town make the work feel worthwhile. Drive isn't solely derived from profits. It's also about wanting to see the town grow. Residents change too, spurred by both personal interactions with the farmer and the progression of the bazaar.
Grand Bazaar is much more than a remake.
I do have a few complaints about the game, primarily regarding quality of life features. In particular, the fact that recipes for food and crafting can't be seen from the menu is something I sorely missed. Perhaps the ability to craft from storage is asking for a bit too much ease of use, but it would also vastly improve the windmill functionality. Another small grievance is the music, which can become repetitive. It's not egregiously annoying though, and as someone who often played while watching television or listening to music, it wasn't a deal breaker. I learned during my initial preview of Grand Bazaar that, while the past 2 remakes were undertaken largely because they were fan favorites, this project was chosen because it was a developer favorite that the team felt hadn't reached its full potential the first time around. Having now put dozens of hours into the title, the love poured into this project has been palpable throughout. The myriad of new features and characters added truly changed the original for the better, making it feel like it's finally come to fruition. Like many games within the genre, Grand Bazaar doesn't have a set end, but it always had a set of different running goals that kept me in a just one more day mindset for very long stretches of play. There are so many forms of progression that all tie together in an incredibly satisfying way. On any given day, I'd focus on raising nature sprite quality levels, breeding better seeds, completing villagers' requests, or any number of other side projects alongside my normal duties. What kept me coming back goes beyond just this sense of progress, with the game doing a wonderful job of making me genuinely like and care for my neighbors. With no shipping bin to fill each day, everything feels more like a gradual build to each Saturday, allowing for more stopping and smelling the roses than recent entries like Pioneers of Olive Town, but still more to do daily than A Wonderful Life. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar goes above and beyond in improving and expanding the original's foundations, allowing its ideas to truly shine.